featured speaker is a former fighter pilot who today works for one of the most awesome airlines in the world. My favorite, but I'm not supposed to say the name. His book, Two Choices, has had a profound impact on my life already. And I'm really excited for you to hear the words of wisdom of my friend and someone I greatly admire, a pilot, a coach, a superstar, Rico Rakowski.
Well, it was a beautiful, sunny Friday afternoon and a perfect day for flying. And I was out flying in a military fighter aircraft when inside the cockpit I got a bunch of bright yellow lights of caution and alert lights that suddenly came on out of nowhere. And since they all came on at the same time, it gave me that sinking feeling that this is not good. Well, rule number one in aviation is that takeoffs are optional and landings are mandatory. And while I had a lot of options that I could deal with right now at this point in time, right now I really had just two choices. And the just two choices are either I'm going to land at my home base about 30 minutes away or land as soon as I can. Well, I make the choice to land as soon as I can, find an airport close by and land, get the airplane on the ground, still not knowing what had caused this strange bunch of bright yellow lights. Well, not long afterwards, I happened to be talking to one of the mechanics who'd actually had worked on that jet. And that's when I found out how lucky I was, because the mechanic told me that the cause of this strange bunch of bright yellow lights on the right-hand side there was there had been a meltdown in some of the circuitry in the airplane, and that had I not landed as soon as I did, then about another 5 minutes later, the wires for the flight controls would have melted through, and I've not been able to steer the airplane, which is like driving down the freeway and then losing the ability to steer your car. And without the ability to steer the airplane, I'd had to eject out of it, which brings us to rule number 2 in aviation, which is you always want your number of takeoffs to equal your number of landings. And so after dealing with this kind of a problem, during about the same time I was actually had this happen in the airplane, on my days off from flying, I'd also been working with elementary school kids, talking about how to set goals and make positive choices in life. And working with 4th and 5th graders everywhere from the suburbs to the cities to rural areas, sometimes even some less populated areas like Rosebud, South Dakota. And one of the things that we would talk about is how every choice of action you take will either take you closer to or further away from whatever it is that you want to achieve. So I'd say, okay, kids, think about it right now. Will this choice of action take you closer to what you want, or will it take you further away from what you want? There are just two choices. Well, after saying this phrase, just two choices, over and over for many years to 4th and 5th graders, I thought, maybe I should experiment with this idea of just two choices and see where it goes. Well, quickly I noticed that every time I go out to fly, there are just two choices. Either I take off or I don't. Sports are all about just two choices. You're either inbounds or out of bounds. The score either counts or it doesn't. Every time you use your credit card, just two choices. It's either approved or not. And if you drink coffee, you have just two choices. Either you've had your coffee today or not. And so I started seeing this idea of just two choices pop up in a lot of different areas of life. So I thought, I wonder if I could use this idea of just two choices to lose some weight. After all, the food I eat is a choice, and whatever food I eat will either help me to lose the weight or not. And it worked. I lost 16 pounds and counting by simply reminding myself that every time I eat, I have just two choices of food. Which choice of food do I make? And when a relationship I was in suddenly fell apart, where I was planning on getting married and being a stepdad, and I'd already moved 1,200 miles, I'd already bought another house, and my previous house still had not sold yet. Once again, I tried using this idea of just two choices, and I did something a little bit different. This time I did what I call a flippant thinking with it. That is, I flipped my thinking to the exact opposite from choosing to think over and over again about all the loss in the relationship. I flipped my thinking to choosing to think over and over about a new and brighter future. And once again, just two choices worked. In fact, it even gave me the idea to write a country song all about, you guessed it, just two choices. So just two choices can be said many different ways. Shakespeare says it in Hamlet as to be or not to be. Albert Einstein says it as insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So if you're expecting a different result, you got to make different choices. And our computers say just two choices by using the just two numbers of either a 0 or a 1, all lined up in that brilliant binary language of our computer code. And the science of epigenetics says that your daily choices can even change your DNA. So how far can you go with this idea of choice? Well, how far will you choose to go with your choices every day? Choice activates every person's life instantly. Every choice counts. You can't avoid making choices because not making a choice is still a choice. Choice is life, and life is choice, and whatever you choose to focus your attention on, there flows your life. The new frontier of personal growth is choice, being consciously aware of your choices. So as you explore this whole new world of awareness of choice, will your life be ordinary or extraordinary? Well, the choice is yours. So start your own little choice revolution today. Simply revolutionize your daily choices, and you will revolutionize your life. And make it easy, like the 4th and 5th graders did. Think, just do choices. Will this choice right now take me closer to what I want as a new and better choice, or will it take me further away from what I want by using the same old choices? Just do choices, and may the choice be with you. Thank you.